Hello and welcome to my Astronomy Nights. I'm Derek, and in this video I'm looking at NGC 4565, the Needle Galaxy. Now, the Needle Galaxy is located in the constellation Coma Berenices. This is made up of those dim stars to the north of Virgo, just between Leo and Canes Venatici. So it can be quite tricky to navigate when you're looking for a faint galaxy. So let's see what I think is the best way to locate it. So to locate the Needle Galaxy, I used Gamma and Beta Coma Berenices. I found their halfway point, and there's two magnitude 5 stars sitting there, and they make up the top of a Y asterism about 3 degrees in length. So if you get the center star of that Y asterism and then I want to work westward 1.5 degrees, you'll see two magnitude 7 stars, and then the same distance the far side of that is where you'll find the Needle Galaxy. Now, when you're finding that area 1.5 degrees the far side, there's one, I think it's the magnitude 7.5 to 8 star, and then below that there was a magnitude 9, and you can just pick that up in your finder scope, and that's exactly where you want to point your eyepiece. So it makes it that bit easier, and I found coming from this direction was handier to get that Y asterism. I was able to return multiple times afterwards without having to consult the map. Whereas when I was going, originally I was trying to come through Malot 111, which is all those stars that kind of sit around Gamma Coma Berenices, but I was finding quite lost. There's quite a lot of stars there, so it's hard to work your way down, and there's other galaxies in the region. So if you're coming from this way, you're not going to pass over any other ones, and then the Needle Galaxy is quite distinctive and it'll show up quite well. So NGC 4565 is a beautiful example of an edge-on spiral galaxy. It has that bright core that bulges in the center and a lovely prominent dust lane that cuts through it. It's quite similar to the Sombrero Galaxy or NGC 891 in Andromeda, but it's that little bit larger, and it has 16 minutes of arc is the size of it, so it's about the size of half a full moon. Sombrero Galaxy is about half that. So it's quite fantastic to view, but it's quite tricky to get it from edge to edge, but that central portion is quite prominent and the dust lane comes up just on direct vision. And it's quite bright as well at magnitude 9.6, so it shows up really well. I was quite surprised at how bright it was when I got it into the eyepiece. And I looked at this on the first night, the moon wasn't too bright, and then later on then I was looking at it on a half moon that was nearby, and you could still see it quite well. NGC 4565 has a small little satellite galaxy that's about 2 arc minutes across, and it's NGC 4562, similar to the way Andromeda has its little satellite galaxies. And you can pick this up on a really good night, and it shows up well in the photographs. So when I was photographing the Needle Galaxy, I was using the 200 PDS, and this was the first time I was able to get the QHY163 mono camera onto my 200 PDS from Skywatcher. This is a 1000mm focal length, so it works really well with galaxies, and it's f5, so you can get a really good image in it. And I was really impressed with the amount of detail, even in short exposures, I was able to get on this for the live view or for the actual final image. And when you crop in on it, you can really see the detail on the central core of this galaxy, where that dust lane is cutting through. Now, like, this is a good target for it as well. It's quite concentrated, the brightness with the edge-on galaxy, so it shows up really well. And the next target I started was NGC 2403 up in Camelopardalis, and that one is quite diffuse. It's the little triangulum galaxy, and it's quite diffuse. The core came out really well, but I wasn't able to get those spiral arms. Now, there was about just before first quarter moon. But yeah, it works really well. I'm really happy with this for the rest of galaxy season. I know I'm well into May now, but hopefully on the next new moon I'll get a few new ones. So this is a great galaxy to view. It shows up really well in the eyepiece. It has that prominent dust lane that sits through it, and I found it really enjoyable to view, because I compared it directly on one night to the Sombrero Galaxy, and it looked about twice the size and it was much brighter. Now from where I am, the Sombrero Galaxy is quite low, so to have an edge-on galaxy this bright and this high up is really nice. The dust lane shows up really well in the central portion of it, so maybe the central third, and then you can follow it out to the edges then with a bit of averted vision, and it looks really nice. So when I was observing this, I found it really pleasing to observe. It's quite bright at magnitude 9.6 and it's quite large as well. It has that 16 minutes of arc from end to end, and you can see most of it. Like, it shows up really well from point to point. Like, you do have to use a bit of averted vision, but it works quite well, and the dust lane is really fantastic to look at in the central portion. You can just look straight at it and it cuts through that bulge and the little bright spot off the core. So NGC 4565 is about 16 arc minutes across by 2 arc minutes, and it's magnitude 9.6. It's quite bright. It was very distinctive once I got it into the eyepiece. I am using averted vision to get the very edges of it, so there's about 7 or 8 arc minutes. They're really easy to see at the center, and then the tapering edges either side, you just kind of have to work a little bit harder to get those. There's a little star just sitting off that central core as well, and it's about just a little dimmer than the core. The dust lane is very prominent. It's really nice when you're watching it. It really sits well. You don't need to use averted vision for it, and it has a really lovely texture to it. There's a small elliptical galaxy then, I think it's just north. There's a little chain of stars down towards it. I can just pick it out. I think that's NGC 4725, I think. This is a really lovely target. It works really well in the eyepiece when you put some magnification on it as well. The central core, that bulge of the central core holds up well, and the dust lane is still quite prominent at magnification. Again, you have to kind of move left to right and keep your eye tracing that line left to right just to bring out the full extent of the entire galaxy. Now this galaxy is about 100,000 light years across at a distance of about 40 million light years, so it's pretty impressive to be able to see something like this just edge on. So all in all, NGC 4565 is a fantastic target for visual and for astrophotography. I found as a visual target it was really interesting to look at, and the size of it and the brightness of it made it a very easy target once it was in the eyepiece. You could really spend a lot of time on it. If you're looking for something past the Messier list, I think this would be a great first stop, and do let me know if you have any experience with observing it. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck with your observations. Clear skies.